Right, well, it's a beautiful morning. Look at it. The leaves are coming out every day. We're in the beginning of May, and suddenly it's like summer. It's beautiful, eh? And here's my little car sitting here patiently. Sit inside it for a minute. Well, this little car is hard to explain. Something about it, I went to look at it when I first saw it to buy it, and it was fundamentally a pretty original car. I don't believe it had a lot done to it, but that's probably been backed up by the fact that I've had it now for 5 or 6 years or whatever. I've had it 5 years maybe, and there's very little that I've had to do to it, and apart from a couple little spots which keep a little bit of rust comes through on the surface, and I keep getting it repaired. The rest of it is fine. It's been real no problem. The car is just beautiful, but it's a very simple. But it's a simple original car, and it's just basic. And for some reason, I don't know, it has more character than most of the cars I have or have driven in my time or been in with other people. It's just a lovely little car. I don't know what it is. Anyway, that's me. So, with that in mind, I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? Look at it. Just look. It's, just great. Anyway, with that in mind, there's bad news and good news, as they say. And let's take the bad news first. Well, Classic Car Weekly magazine. And the bad news is I'm looking through it, and let's have a look. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here we are. Look at this. A Saab 96. Now, there is a massive similarity between this Saab that's for sale and the car I'm sitting in my view, because they're both basic, simple little cars, and this particular model that's for sale, like mine, is kind of unmolested, unrestored, and fairly original. So, obviously, this attracted me, and the bad news is that I thought, I've got to have this car. That's just, it's just, forget all the fancy cars and expensive cars or luxury cars. This is really a car that gives me real passion to want to buy. Well, that's the bad news, because at the moment I'm so involved with other things. Do I really want another car? I mean, putting it somewhere safe at the moment is a problem until this development's built and I've got a big garage built. So the good news, what's the good news? Well, the good news is this paper's about 6 months old, so the car's obviously not there. I'm so far behind reading these things that I'm now reading one that's 6 months old. Well, it's actually the 3rd of January, so it's 4 months old. But I think actually that that sort of car is probably going to be my next car, that type of car. But then who knows? I may change my mind. And maybe the other end of the spectrum, not that I particularly like that model Rolls, but I always fancied a Rolls Royce. So, they're two different things, eh? We'll see. Right, well, just checking here. We're underneath the Volvo XC90 at the moment, and it's been sitting here for about 2 days, and I left it here purposely, not driving it, because I wanted to see if there were any more fuel leaks. And there doesn't seem to be this, it's fairly, well, it is dry here, and there doesn't seem to be anything wet there. So now that we've retightened the cover that gives access to the fuel tank, one of the fuel tanks here on the passenger side, we don't seem to be having that leak anymore, and it's completely full up actually. Funnily enough, when I filled it up totally, that was when we had to deal with the leak. So certainly doesn't seem to be anything coming out. That's dry, so let's just hope it stays that way. Well, the Jag looks quite nice there, parked in the new road that we had built next to our wood. Yeah, glad I cleaned it, but you can see already that well, maybe it doesn't show up in the film, but there's a film of dust on it already. And that dust just is always here. It comes off the fields, I guess. But yeah, it looks nice. Well, I think it does. Obviously, thousands of people don't think they look nice because they just don't get high prices. You know, even a car like this, which is in sort of fairly immaculate and original condition, just doesn't fetch the money you think it would. Okay, well, it's Sunday here, and my wife going to take me out for lunch. So I decided, well, let's take the Mercedes. So I gave it a bit of a clean. It's already had a kind of clean. I gave it an even slightly better clean. Well, more of a polish. Every time I come out here, there's airplanes flying around. There's a small little local airfield. There it is over there. And they fly these little prop planes, small ones, around. Anyway, look at this car. 25 years old, never garaged. And that's not a good thing to say about an old car, is it? But look at it. Oops, there's that plane, look. Or is it a helicopter? It's a helicopter. Isn't that beautiful? Like new, and look, listen to the doors shut. Solid. 25 years old, absolutely beautiful, and the aircon works fantastic. Oh, just what a lovely car. Do you know, I say this about every car, but it is. There's me, look. It's really exciting to get into this car. It's so solid and it's so quiet when you shut that door. Mind you, the Jag's like that, but this is 25 years old. Still got the fire extinguisher. This was fully loaded, so we've got lumbar seats. We've got memory seats, 2-position memory seats, lumbar seats, and that's on both. Obviously, all the seats are electric, fully electric, including the headrests. The only thing, and I mentioned this before, the only thing was this car came out in '93, but it was on the point at which they were getting into the airbags big time. So this car was designed before airbags, passenger airbags anyway. So they put the airbag where the glove box was, which seemed a bit of a poor design, but you know, it's done. So it doesn't have a glove box, which does annoy me at times because there's really nowhere to put anything. Though we have got this little compartment there, and of course there's the usual ones in the doors. But, you know, no cup holder. Not that I use cup holders much, but there isn't really anywhere to put things in this car. And you don't want to put too many things here where the wood is, because this wood is in really good condition. 25 years old there again. Look, needs a bit of a clean, but it's got no cracks in it. It's not worn, it's not scratched. And of course you have to be so careful, you know, when you haven't got a lot of space as well, and you've got no glove box, that you don't put things here all the time, which I do, and then everything scratches, like your phone or keys or anything. So, but it's in remarkable condition. All the dash, this has been sitting outside, you know, and you've got the sun on here, and no cracks in it at all. It's absolutely beautiful. All the headlining, everything works. Say, there's only one thing that doesn't work on that car, and that is the heated seat here. That works, the back works heated. That one's given up, and we've investigated that, and the cost of repairing that or even replacing it with something else is so involved and so costly that I've just not done it at the moment. I've spent money on other things on this car. Oh, and the other thing is, of course, this lamination that comes down the edge, which apparently a lot of them do. But it went like that, and then it stopped a couple of years ago. It never hasn't gone, so I've left it. I mean, what, you know, really, really amazing car. I absolutely love it, and I've had it for 20 years. Right. Oh, one other point. Somebody noticed this in one of my videos, that this was loose, and they're absolutely right. Well spotted. That bit of trim is, look, it's coming away. I'm guessing that's just glued. I think I'll find out the best thing to do. I suspect that just needs a bit of glue in there and stick it back. Obviously you're going to get water down there as well, so that really wants to be dealt with. So somebody watched my videos and spotted it. You can just see it. Yeah. So I'll have to do something about that. I like this car, but today we're talking about the Mercedes. So I'll go park it, ready to go with my wife to lunch. I think she's paying actually, so but that'll be good. Oh, this needs all cleaning. Look, do you know I did clean that? I'm gonna have to. Now that I've got the bug for this car, I'm gonna spend some time on it. Look, I shouldn't. Oh, the aircon's on. Look at that. It's really cold already. No lights on. Look, no warning lights on. Good, eh? Right. So it's a bit of a worry, driving with one hand in an area that you don't normally reverse in while you're filming. And I would hate to film myself hitting something. Okay, next stop, lunch. That is cold. Oh, this is quite amazing. Quite amazing. Look at this. I went to get some fuel, petrol in cans just before, and the day before I'd gone to get petrol in this car. And when I went to get cans of petrol, I also took this car, and each time I had the windows and the roof open. And the the strange thing was that on each occasion people came over and started talking to me about the car. In fact, one person was insistent that it was a brand new Renault, and he couldn't believe that it was actually as old as it was. So 15 years old. he thought it was new, a new model. So it really attracts a lot of attention. But I've noticed this thing again, this really annoys me. Look, it's got a bit more corrosion coming back. This was recently resprayed. Oh well. Nice though. So we managed to get all the rubbish that was sitting around here on the site, all of it, 2 tanks, that tank and another tank, all that felt material, insulation material, loads of that old wire, crushed it all down with the digger, and we cleared a lot of that area there. So that's a good job done. Now I'll just go and have a look and we'll see what Tom's doing, because we're trying to get the trench filled in now using the digger that's arrived. So we had a big fire here this morning and burnt a lot of wood. What I was told was, I didn't realise actually, that we're not supposed to put wood into the skip with nails in them. We're supposed to bang all the nails down. So obviously, as we can't bang hundreds of nails down, we burned all the wood. And eventually, when we finish burning here, there'll be loads of metal in there. So we're going to dig a hole and put the top surface of where the fire was into the hole, bury it, or get rid of the nails that way. There's too many to find, even with a magnet. You're clearing it.
I'll fill it all the way up.
Yep.
And then I'll work my way back down.
Yep.
Rolling over it.
Yeah, it looks alright.
At least it's not a hole.
Eh?
At least it's no hole.
No, I mean it looks okay. No, that's okay. That's fine. For the wood, that's okay. The only bit that I go on about is the trails and that bit down the road, because that's different. This is just.
It's a shame that we couldn't. Yeah, we're trying to get this bit flat. It's flat.
Yeah, I mean this path, we'll try and rake this path over later, and then this grass hopefully might grow a bit. So this is some of the firewood that we collected from cutting down some of the willow trees. I'm going to build a wood store at some point. ones with the flags on are the willows that I planted. Oh look, a couple of little pheasants there. One of them. There's another one over there, look. There's a whole family here living in the woods now. A couple of little muntjac deer living in here as well somewhere. So this is the part of my little land here that I had never actually been on because it was just completely full of overgrown brambles and shrub. So we've cleared it and fenced it off, and the river meanders around here. And all this lot we're going to burn. So it's another job here that needs doing in the next few weeks, I guess. But it's a nice little spot here, especially on a summer day. You know, I was thinking of getting a little table up here and chairs or something. It's a nice spot to sit. Thing is with these rivers that nobody bothers about them now. I mean, when I was a kid, and I don't know when it all stopped, but they'd be dredging some of these rivers. There was a river authority and they'd come and dredge them. And of course they're not dredged now, and gradually the rivers are just silting up. And of course the rubbish that comes up the river, and we've collected lots of stuff here. My river, the river runs along my property all down there and around the corner. And of course we get, you know, tires, footballs, bottles, cans, all sorts of stuff. Well, things are really happening here. We've got the council have put up the protection to protect my trees. I love it. My trees, and it's part of the conditions that these trees have to be protected now. A number of others as well. So that area is officially designated a protected area. Don't know about this bottle that somebody left there, but still. Scaffolding up on the building, and they've taken the roof down. Let's have a look. So this was the boarding kennel. Used to be. This was full of dogs a couple of years ago. This was the kitchen, and today they started to take the roof down. So here we are. This was a flat here, 2-bedroom flat, and it's got no roof now. These big corrugated type sheets that they're taking down, of course, are no longer used. They're concrete with asbestos in them, woven into them, and of course they have to be disposed of in an official, proper way, and they're going to a proper skip tomorrow. They can't be sold, resold, or used. They have to be disposed of according to the regulations. And There we are, that's the roof. And then in a few weeks there'll be a new roof up here, but it'll be higher up. A lot of work to do yet, so early stages. These big timbers here that have been here for quite a few years, those we're keeping all of those. They'll either be used in some other part of the project or in some sort of decorative way, really, because they're nice big old mature weathered pieces of timber, so they won't be disposed of. I mean, everything that can be recycled obviously is recycled. And then all this the rest of all this roof has got to come off. Right, well, we need some topping, some stone for the road through the wood. So we're going to go to a quarry, a local quarry, and have a look at some. Pleasant day for that, but it's turned cold. Smart border cabins. Right, we'll get a sample of it then. Oh, this looks technical. Yeah.
Pardon?
Yes.
That's £27, please.
Yeah, that's right. Do a Ryanair,
Yeah.
shall we? Oh, and I got charged for the bag as well.
I know, that's what they would do. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
All right, you're
Yeah.
welcome. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Well, this is the gravel that I've chosen. And what I've done here, I've just put this bit from the bag that I had, the sample, and I've just driven over it with the car. Now, what we are planning to do is to roll this road here first with the vibrating roller. We're going to spray lightly a little bit of diesel on it first, which is going to sort of bind it and stick it a bit, we hope. And then we'll put a layer of this and roll this, and hopefully the idea will be that it will, to a certain extent, bond itself into this surface and create a semi-loose chipping surface on this road, which looks kind of rustic and rural and practical and attractive and one thing and another. We'll see. So that's the project we'll do on that one. Now another little project I've got. So this is the Avantime, and a number of things have been happening with this car over the last few days. First of all, I've had a contact from the guy I bought the car from, and he's given me some very good advice with regard to this wind deflector. And I'll have a look and show you. Let's open it up first. Whoops, turn the ignition on would help. Right, so we will push one push, and that opens up. Now I'm going to go around the other side and have a look. Right, so what we've got is a wind deflector, and this little lever there, when you push it, it releases that. And then when this comes and closes, it pushes the wind deflector down. We'll show you. Okay, and then when you open it up again, it doesn't come up. And the reason is because when that roof closes down, it doesn't push that lever down. And the reason for that is because that pad here, that little pad, apparently is worn, and that little felty pad is what pushes onto that spring-loaded lever. So, see, there's no lever there, so that doesn't actually do anything. It's only on that side that it actually activates the wind deflector to come up. So what am I going to do about it? It's been suggested that we try putting a bit of tape on it. Now obviously we don't want to put too much on this, but what we want to do is just pack this up a bit. That's what I've been advised, and I certainly would agree that if we pack that up, then when the roof closes, it will press down on that lever then, which releases it every time it goes back. So I'll try doing that now, see what happens. Right, well, I've just packed that up a little bit with some tape, probably just as well because it's now starting to rain. Always the way, isn't it? So we really want to get this fixed. So let's close this up. Now, open it. No, that hasn't come. So we'll pack it a bit more. Right, so I've packed it a little bit more. I'll try this again. Now we'll open it up and see if it comes up. No, not yet. Right. That's still there. Yep, we'll pack it some more. Right, so we'll try it again. Nope. So what we're going to have to do is be a bit more dramatic, I think. Pack this out a lot deeper. Try that. Right, well that's been packed quite deep there, and I'd actually be surprised if it doesn't work, but I don't know. Let's see. No. So there I am, surprised. That hasn't worked. Or maybe I should try putting something a bit stiffer in there. Let's try closing that again. Right, I'm going to put something stiffer in there now. Right, well, this is probably my 8th attempt. I've tried something a lot more rigid now. I heard a sound there, actually. Nope. That hasn't worked either. There's got to be a reason for this. I've got to figure this out. Right, well, the rain is coming now, so I think we'll leave this until it dries up. It makes sense, but it hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked probably because I'm not doing it right. So I think we'll have another think of this one. Come back to this. But look at the rain. And over there you can see that we have no roof now. So you can see now where this is going to be divided. That there's an extension going on there, but that will be one house, and then the next section will be two flats, one on top of each other, and then another house at the end. Right. Right, well, it's been a busy couple of days. I've been out on the Vespa. A lovely thing, that is. But I would still really prefer it in my house. I've been out on my A to B metro. I did about, I had this battery, the battery that's in here, and there's another battery here, and they switch over on the dash. I did over 20 miles on this one battery 2 days ago. And I've been out on this. This is my little bit faster bike. It's a really nice bike. Really like that. But I am going to go out in the Renault today, the lovely Avantime. And I haven't managed to sort this yet. We've had a lot of rain here, so I'm going to wait until the weather's dry, obviously, because I need to top off and have a really good think about this, because there's got to be a way. I mean, the chap that told me about this pointed it out to me. I'm sure he's absolutely right, and I'm going to try and sort it out. But actually, speaking of that guy, now, what else has happened? I came close to buying another Avantime off him. This was a spares car, a car for parts that he had. In the end, because for a number of reasons, the car was actually incomplete, and a few other things, and it was far away, so there was the actual cost of getting it here to me. I decided to just buy some extra parts for an Avantime from him. So what I've bought is the back lights for this car. So I bought spare lights. I've bought a set of these door mirrors, and they're in the same color, you know, so it's a thing that could easily get broken. And I've bought these off him. They're the same color, so I figured if, you know, they could easily get knocked, and I mean, where would you find another one like that? I mean, some of this stuff you could repair, I guess. But anyway, so I bought two of those, both the mirrors and both the backlights. And that's that. Yeah, but it's not the only thing. Oh dear. I received the latest copy of Classic American magazine. I should be sitting in the Dodge talking about this, really, shouldn't I? Oh, that's better. Right, so we're in the Dodge. Oh, look at the dirt there. You see, I cleaned this car not long ago, look, and now look at it. And that is all the dust that comes off the fields around here. And unless you've got your car, obviously, in an enclosed, sort of almost sealed area, you're going to get this dust. The Jag I washed a couple of days ago, and that's getting dusty already. Anyway, I got the copy of Classic American magazine, and I was looking through, just flipping through the classifieds, and I spotted a car for sale. Well, it wasn't an old American car. What it is, it's the Chrysler Crossfire, which is the sports car, basically the Mercedes, the older Mercedes mechanical bits with a Chrysler designed body on it. Not the best quality build, I don't think, from the terms of the body, but as far as the engine and everything is concerned, that's all pretty reliable and pretty good because it is the Mercedes stuff. But this particular version was the SRT 6, which is the supercharged version, and it's got a hand-built, signed by the German who put it together, supercharged 3.2 engine, V6. Good for about, just under 160 miles an hour, and 0 to 60 in about, probably under 5 seconds. I think they're officially they talk about 4.8. You see them in videos on the drag strips. They're pretty good. So I've made an offer on it. Whether it gets accepted, I don't know. I'm kind of like, why am I buying that? I don't really like sports cars, but I love the design of the Chrysler Crossfire. And if anyone here doesn't know what it looks like, I'll insert a photograph now. Well, as you can see, it's a lovely. Well, I think it's a lovely car, and this is the AMG version that we're talking about, though, not the standard version. The standard version is a pretty fast car, pretty fast car. But this one that I made an offer on is the AMG version that was made in Germany of this car, and it's got a body kit on it, and it's slightly different, but basically it's got a super engine, and it's a pretty fast vehicle. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I made an offer. We'll see what happens. If not, I'm going to just carry on, because I think the next project, I'm going to have to get this car out and start thinking about getting it ready for the London to Brighton classic car run, which is going to be fairly soon. Probably in about 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens there.